Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin, Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, Ihdina siratal mustaqim, siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim, ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amin. We thank the Almighty Allah for this day in a blessed month of Ramadan. We pray that today's program be a success. May He open our hearts and mind. May He continue to imbibe our speakers with wisdom so that as everybody leaves here, we all take something back to help our families, our marriages, and in effect, to help the deen of Islam. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun, wa salamun alayhi mursalin, walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور الذي خلق 7 سماوات طباقا ما ترى في خلق الرحمن من تفاوت فارجع البصر هل ترى من فتور ثم ارجع البصر كرتين ينقلب إليك البصر خاسعا وهو حسير ولقد زينا السماء الدنيا بمصابيح وجعلناها رجوما للشياطين وأعتدنا لهم عذاب السعير وللذين كفروا بربهم عذاب جهنم وبئس المصير إذا ألقوا فيها سمعوا لها شهيقا وهي تفور تكاد تميز من الغيظ كلما ألقي فيها فوج سألهم خزنتها ألم يأتكم نذير قالوا بلى قد جاءنا نذير فكذبنا وكنا ما نزل الله من شيء إن أنتم إلا في ضلال كبير وقالوا لو كنا نسمع أو نأكل ما كنا في أصحاب السعير فاعترفوا بذنبهم فسحقا لأصحاب السعير إن الذين يخشون ربهم بالغيب لهم مغفرة وأجر كبير وأسروا قولكم أو اجهروا به إنه عليم بذات الصدور ألا يعلم من خلق وهو اللطيف الكبير هو الذي جعل لكم الأرض ذلولا فامشوا في مناكبها وكلوا من رزقه وإليه النشور أأمنتم من في السماء أن يكسف بكم الأرض فإذا هي تمور أم أمنتم من في السماء أن يرسل عليكم حاسبا فستعلمون كيف نذير ولقد كذب الذين من قبلهم فكيف كان نكير أولم يروا إلا الطير فوقهم صافات ويقبض ما يمسكهن إلا الرحمن إنه بكل شيء بصير أمن هذا الذي هو جند لكم ينصركم من دون الرحمن إن الكافرين إلا في غرور أمن هذا الذي يرزقكم إن أمسك رزقا بل لجوا في عتو ونفور أفمن يمشي مكبا على وجهه أحدا أمن يمشي سويا على صراط مستقيم قل هو الذي أنشأكم وجعل لكم السمع والأبصار والأفئدة قليلا ما تشكرون قل هو الذي زرعكم في الأرض وإليه تحشرون صدق الله العظيم.
Takbir! MashaAllah. Thank you for the wonderful recitation. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward your efforts. Thank you everyone for making the time to come to this program. We all have our intentions and we have our expectations. What do you expect? What questions are you expecting to be answered? So can you share your expectations? As you come here, you think, okay, when I go, I think by the close of the day, this and that should be done. What are your expectations? What do you expect should have happened? You don't expect any rain to fall. Madam Jamila, we are all wishing for the best that our distinguished guests have for us. And I know and we all believe that inshallah, yes.
Salamu alaikum. Expectation me expecting say. Ni ombeke bia no bia try so obesua bibi. Na okọ odi aye adwuma na ama na ware ya na se onya ware ya. Watumi anya susuye bi wọ na setem. So obefi ha no ka say oh ade ya mbetie ye no. Me nu me ho na me wesi me time. Nti obi anya abote no ntie. No mfa bibi wo. Salamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Takbir. Ayefuto kese pa na ye mama di amaye. Mr. Mibisa, do we all speak English and we are all comfortable? If we have to blend the two, should it be Hausa and English? Okay. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. So it's an honor for me to introduce to you the two amazing speakers to do justice to this very important topic for us today. The first speaker, Dr. Fatima Suleimana, is an academic and Islamic studies scholar with extensive experience in education, women's empowerment, and interfaith engagement in Ghana. She is currently a lecturer at the Department for the Study of Religions at the University of Ghana. She holds a PhD and an MPhil in the study of religion from the University of Ghana, and a first-class honor BA in religion and Arabic from the University in Cairo, Ain Shams. She also holds a postgraduate diploma in education from the University of Cape Coast. She is also a proud alumna of St. Francis Girls Senior High in Jirapa in the Upper West region and Ghana Senior High School in Tamale in the Northern region. Hajia Fati, as she is widely known, has published some scholarly works exploring gender-based violence, Islamic education, and the role of Muslim women in Ghanaian society. Before joining academia, she served as the regional coordinator for Islamic Studies and Arabic under the Islamic Education Unit in Greater Accra, where she contributed to educational reforms. She's a committed advocate for Muslim girl-child education and Muslim women's rights and empowerment. She's a member of many professional bodies such as the Circle of Concerned African Women Theologians, the African Association for the Study of Religions, and then UTAG, and the Federation of Muslim Women's Association in Ghana. Her work continues to bridge the gap between religious scholarship and social development, making her a vital voice in contemporary discussion on religion, gender, and development in West Africa. She's a licensed counselor. In her free time, she likes to garden, read, and play Candy Crush. With me saying a big Atakbir and you responding Allahu Akbar, let's welcome our first speaker. Atakbir. You're welcome, Ajay. Our second speaker, Sister Amama Mudi Ahmed, is a distinguished administrator, entrepreneur, and community leader with a strong interdisciplinary background in finance, accounting, psychology, and faith-based development. Her career reflects a deep commitment to professional excellence, ethical leadership, and community empowerment. She's an alumna of TI Media Senior High School and holds a diploma in business studies from the University of Professional Studies, Accra, as well as a diploma in strategic marketing management from the Institute of Commercial Management, United Kingdom. She further earned a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and a Bachelor of Business Administration, Accounting option from the University of Ghana. Her postgraduate studies includes a Master of Business Administration in Finance and a Master of Science in Accounting and Finance from the University of Ghana Business School. She also holds an advanced certificate in Facilities Management, enhancing her expertise in educational and infrastructural management. Professionally, Sister Amama Ahmed serves as a senior accounting assistant at the University of Ghana, where she contributes to financial, administration, and institutional accountability. In addition to her public service role, she is the Chief Executive Officer of Racer Ghana Limited and Catering Services, demonstrating her entrepreneurial leadership in the hospitality and service sector. She also serves as a project manager at Peace Dawa Media, supporting faith-based media initiatives focused on peace building, education, and community engagement. She currently serves as the president of the Muslim Female Graduate Association and deputy public relations officer of the Federation of Muslim Women's Association in Ghana, where she actively promotes women empowerment, Islamic education, and social development. She's also a member of Criterion and Soul Savers International. She's a devoted wife and mother. Sister Amama Mudi successfully balances professional responsibilities, entrepreneurship, community service, and family life. In her leisure time, she enjoys social entrepreneurship initiatives and playing shot put, reflecting her passion for community impact and personal well-being. With me saying Atakbir and you responding Allahu Akbar, join me in welcoming our second guest. Atakbir. Sister Mama, you are welcome. So, guests, your audience, and audience, your guests. Thank you.
We've seen that we don't have small children here at all. MashaAllah, Allah has blessed us with our women with knowledge and deen, and we are so proud to have them here. We are so proud as Muslims to have such wonderful people, wonderful mothers who are always helping us to reshape our future, being very good role models. You see, did you hear the credentials? It's not easy. We thank God we have you in our midst. You really serve. Right now, I have to be chasing a lot of programs so that even if I cannot compete, at least I can get a quota. Inshallah. Okay, so first speaker will be Hajia Amama Mudi. Atakbir.
I believe Collins Daughter wants to create a mess here. You see, when you put a daughter and a mother on the table, what do you expect? Aja Fati has been a role model to a lot of us in our community, and she still stands. And she has been a background why some of us are talking to be in her shoes. Aja, so with your permission, can I speak? Thank you, Mommy. Yeah. Okay. So once again, I greet you with the best salutations of Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So all praise due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most gracious, the most merciful. We send peace and blessing to our noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family, his companions, and to all those of us who follow his footsteps to the Yawm al-Qiyamah. Now, my distinguished sisters, respected elders, our dear mothers, we stand here this morning to touch an important aspect of our life that concern all our family issues and communities, which is the foundation of a healthy marriage relationship. Looking at the faces I see here, I can see some people. Mommy, should I come? Maybe how many years have you been married? Haja? No.
Salaam alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I've been married for 35 years. So.
So you see, let me tell you, we'll deduct it from my age and see who talked to who today. Mommy, how many years have you been married?
I've been married about 40 years.
Hey, mashallah, 40 years is not a joke. Hey, auntie, how many years?
10 years.
Hey, Dagina, you want to create confusion here. 40 years, 30 years. Another Hajjah just came in. Let me welcome her. You're welcome.
Thank you.
How many years have you been married?
36 years.
Hey, we will deduct it from my age and see who will talk to somebody. Aja,
41 years.
Sakina, I think I have to sit. So today they will do the talk. Aja, 40. Hey, still, I want to see my co-equal today, but up to now I haven't got it, sir. Are you planning? Or it has come? It's about to. Okay. So Aja, take a look.
3.
Mashallah. Hey. Because for promotion, Aja, how many years?
18 years.
18 years. What if me age na me age SSO? Aja, how many years?
9 years now.
9 years. Again, you see how
Not married.
not married. So you see, those of us who are expecting 18, 35, 41. So who will talk to who today? It will be difficult to. Maybe that's why my mother is here. So she will have to do more than talking, because some of it at that time now was still in KG2, croquet coming. May Allah make it easy for us. So as we reflect on the topic given as the foundation of a healthy marriage relationship, I believe with our mothers here, with this kind of experience that we are getting as a feedback, I believe we could go on more interactive discussion rather than feeding one another. So marriage in Islam is not a cultural expectation or a social relationship or something. But as Muslims as we are, we believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created it as a sacred covenant so that we'll be able to know each other better. And we can have mercy, love, and peace in our society. So as Muslim, that is the purpose of marriage. But then, if we should go into marriage with any other thinking apart from what Allah has decreed from us, then there will be chaos in our marriage system. So, if we are looking at the foundations of a healthy marriage relationship, as Muslims, our focus and our aspiration has to be with the Quran and the Sunnah of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If we follow the guidance of the Quran and what our Prophet has said to us, I believe we will have a harmony in our house. We're going to enjoy our house because we see marriage as an aspect of our worship. So in the Hausa people will say aure ibadah ni. Aja no be so. Now, so if you see it as an ibadah, whatever is happening into it, you believe that you are doing it for the sake of Allah, if not because of Allah and this. I remember growing up, my mother had 12 of us. Small thing, all that you could hear her saying is, if not because of these children, if not because of these children, I could have lived. My father has a house in my village. So sometimes we laughed over it. That, why do you want to go to your village? Go. So she has something that is a focus. Because with time, the love that you find and went into the marriage, it will fade. It will go away. What then is left? The act of ibadah, which is very important. So as Muslim, we said that our reference point has to do with our Quran and the hadith of the Prophet. So what did Allah tell us in Quran? So if you look at Quran 30 verse 21, that is Surah Al-Rum, what did Allah say to us? Maybe I saw my lady reading beautifully. Can you read this interpretation for me? That among the signs. Yes.
In English.
Just that. The Quran 31. And among the signs.
Okay. And among his signs is that he created for you spouses from among yourselves, so that you may find tranquility in them, and he placed between you love and mercy.
MashaAllah. So it means that when we go into marriage, we are not going there because our mother wants us to marry. The society says we should marry. Because I saw somebody on social media, the wedding was so beautiful, the outfit was so beautiful. That is why I'm going into that. If you do that, you are walking into a marriage with unexpected, realistic kind of thing, unrealistic expectation. And when you walk in with unrealistic expectation, without making reference to your Quran and then the hadith of the Prophet, and when the expectations are not met, you are in trouble. Because you walk into the marriage, you are going there with expectation. 2 days ago, I was counseling a young girl who was going into marriage. And, living with her auntie, the impression she gave to the husband was that I work so much for my husband, and my auntie, I have to do everything, I have to do this. So her mind is that when she gets married, and I'm not trouble for her. You get it. And this is somebody who's going to live with a mother. So she's going there with unrealistic expectation. Because you go there, the idea is not the whole worry out for down. So when you go there and then your expectations are not met, then you are in trouble. So if Allah tells us that it's about taqwa or what then, right? Now, so mercy and then tranquility and it has to be. The first my sister read is pointing a very significant 3 pillars of marriage. She mentioned tranquility, love,
and one which is mercy. So what then is the tranquilities that we are expecting? As we can have pity for each other, we share our emotional buffering, intimacy, so many things that is found there. So if you go there, that oh, I'm going there to have mercy on each other. We are going to have mercy on each other. We are going to worship together and we love each other and we have mercy upon each other as the Lord has. Then it means that you are serious. And if you go there because of what I love marriage, I'll get all that I want. That is unrealistic expectation. You have issues. So our mothers are here. I want it to be more interactive. Mommy is here for 41 days. Over our ready. Now what did I say? Over here, get this.
Na yɛntumi nhwɛ yɛn mma sɛnea yɛpɛ sɛ yɛnya wɔn. Na menyɛ Muslim nso yɛware yɛn me ho sɛ wɔ sɛ menyɛ Muslim na me mma no bɛyɛ Muslim daakye ma me.
Mashallah. So you see, the Sakina is coming here. That's tranquility. So she was having the tranquility in mind. Aja.
At our time, there wasn't much, what do I say? We just go in that we laugh. That's at our time. But there's no much education on how to be with the man and other things. So we have to make it ourselves gradually to, learn how to be with the man, and then with what the Quran said, love, and then you just put it in your mind that the man is your brother. So you have to help him, help each other, and help the children grow together with him in Islam at our time.
Good. You see, we are learning something here. So it's a generational kind of thing. As we grow, some went into this. Because I remember one saying of the Prophet who says when they were migrating from Makkah to Medina, he said, فَمَنْ كَانَ إِجْرَتُهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ فَإِجْرَتُهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ وَمَنْ كَانَ إِجْرَتُهُ لِإِذْنِ الدُّنْيَا أَوْ امْرَأَةٍ يَنْكَسِبُهَا فَإِجْرَتُهُ إِلَى مَا أَجْرَ إِلَيْهِ. So learning from what our mother is saying, she said with her time, all that she saw was love. No much education. We were talking about Sakina, Mawadda, and Rahma. That is 3 things, which the Quran refers as. But she was not having pre-knowledge about those kind of things. So she thought marriage is all about love. But what did she do? She was so smart. When she got in, and she realized that it's not always about love, because love will fade and go. And she immediately had to switch and learn that, oh, it goes beyond love. There have to be rahmah. Because if I don't do that, what then happened to my children? This is the point. I need to stay and take care of my children. So what do I do? So she adjusts, and she was able to succeed. You understand? Aja, tell us something.
One is about sacrifice for each other. Both of you. You, the woman, you have to sacrifice, and the man too have to sacrifice, so that you build a relationship together.
So you see, all the foundations of marriage, even my own doesn't need. The discussion is right here, that there's supposed to be a lot of sacrifices. If you don't sacrifice, you want to go there, oh, as for me, I have come. Maybe I'm about worry about talk it to it remember the memoir. Nti some body any as I say me beji bibi ko yazi oba born na kwa worry a wo fa hwema oh nti sa wo de sa nyansa ne kwa worry na chese emwa nti ono realize here no ohun say there must be a lot of sacrifices. one sacrifice here, you can't sustain it. It will sound as if, is it the man I saw and I fell in love with? And what is happening? And for that matter, she has to do a lot of sacrifices. Aja, Adiana Boa warrior.
Me ansa na me bɛkɔ awareɛ no na bɛrima no ankasa ne na ɔhuuɛ na ɔkɔɔ Muslim na ɔnyɛ asɔre na meka kyerɛ no sɛ me nso baabi a mefiri no woanyɛ asɔre a yɛmpene ma mu ma wo nti ɛm sɛ n'ani abere na ɔnim sɛ ɔpɛ sɛ ɔne me kyerɛ ɔgyinaeɛ ɛna ɔno nso ɔbaa Muslim no ɔbaeɛ nso Nyame adom ɔtumi gyinaeɛ ɛyɛ sɛ ɛneɛ san sɛ ɔpɛ me ne nti ɔbɛyɛ nti nokorɛ ni ɔsua adeɛ a ɛkɔ anim a kyɛn me a yɛwɔ me wɔ mu na ɔbɛto mu ɛna yɛwareeɛ nso Nyame ma yɛ nkwadaa 6 ɛna yɛhwɛ wɔn ara kɔpem sɛ Nyankopɔn ankasa so ɛbɛfa no.
Mashallah. So you see, as for her foundation, it has boiled down to taqwa. She stood on her feet. She didn't let love overrule her face. That, oh, because I'm in love, oh, and you they worry me. Okay, sorry, I made them come me cremo. A lot of people have seen they have made a lot of mistakes in that. In the first, at the initial stage, they thought that, oh, it's about love. But don't me and me don't unko unko na sorry, na me so me unko ma sorry. Forgetting say, na yesha say ye wo nkwala na. Saying nteti ebe na ede be ma no because me gidie kire me say me baba onhye mini skirt na wojane nufu egusu anante usu gidie kire wo say enye hwe obetimi ahye na wapo na say ye nyina no as parent no ye nyina ye gidie ensi ye pair na ekodum pempenso a wan na betu akwala nefu because ube creating mess in your home ebe akwala de say me maame na o se ma menhia no ebi o taame na me papa de wo hia wo nka hwe na maame ne de bia na ogina wo so ene na sefo nti ono de o se at the entry point no she make sure say one bema ni nyina no omugidi e kire omo ade baako so that they go back to asem BBC a ene Quran and hadith no adane point of reference because wugidi na migidi a ebema interpretation ayede aye easy amaye nyina. Now another technique Aja
My being. And so I went inside, taking it as an ibadah.
Mashallah. So you see, as Muslim, indeed, our belief on the Quran and the Hadith is making a great impact in our life. She went in that it's an act of worship. So whatever comes in, she knows she's serving Allah and her reward is waiting for her in heaven. So whatever you bring in, she doesn't have any much expectation, but she took it upon herself that Allah has decreed on her that she has to marry, and she's fulfilling that. Mashallah.
Yeah, for my own, I grew up seeing my mom and my dad in marriage. So what I've always learned from her, she always say marriage is patient. Marriage is patient. For me, getting married, what I have in my mind was patience, and I married because of Allah. So it says because everything I face in marriage, I know it's Allah who has ordained it. So that's it. So patience, me, that was what I'm moving with.
Yes, this reminds me. When I was growing up, I used to live with my brother who was very rich. He has a swimming pool in his house. He opened one room for me. You know, I can swim. I have washroom and other things. So the dream was that if I get married, me to my husband will buy me cars anytime I'm going out. Yes, I'll drive any car that I want, and there will be a swimming pool in my husband's house and other things. So all my prayer is that, yeah, Allah, give me a husband like my brother. So when I get married, for the first time in my life, I have to be in a rented house. And what happened, I'll tell you later.
Assalamu alaikum. Okay, for me, I have a question and then I also have a little contribution, as you said. I think before I got married, back then in school, Sheikh Nama used to come around
and they'll be preaching about we getting married to the brothers, even if they are not rich, they'll get rich later or something like that. Then they were telling us all of those things that will make you want to marry. Like they'll tell you that oh, you are performing tahajjud now. If even a married person sleeping is any more reward than you, they'll be telling you things that I was like, okay, then that means there is more investment in marriage than being single. So I think all of those things kind of pushed us towards getting married. But when you enter it, then you realize that no, it's not better. So like yes, so you begin to adjust. But my question is, I noticed that most of the contributions that are coming out, everyone is talking about adjusting, and we are relegating the love aspect of the marriage. I feel like love is very important in marriage. I don't think the love fades away. I think it takes a different form. Like before you get married, there's always that passion that is he going to call me? I'm expecting this call. Is he going to come to the house? You are all that's the passion. I think that's the word. There's passion before the marriage. But after marriage, love takes a different form. The man becomes more responsible because he doesn't want his wife to be hurt. He doesn't want her to be tired doing something. So he finds another way for her to do it. So he might not straight away tell you, I love you, or this, or kiss you every morning, but he shows you all of that through acts of services. And so I believe that the love is still there. However, my question is, I've met a couple of sisters who go like, oh, now the love is not there, so they are not even looking at the love, they're just concentrating on their children. And they feel like, oh, there's nothing we can do at this point, we're just living. So when you go too much into that, you realize that a lot of the marriages are like that. We are living like we are siblings in the house. And I feel it's not very okay. Because if you were okay, some of the brothers would also not be looking outside. They are in the same marriage. Like I've heard a sister say that one sister told her that her husband, they've become estranged. But she's taking like, oh, he's taking care of the family and everything, so it's fine. But the same sister said that the husband made a comment to her that when she sees this particular sister, his heart skips a beat. And he said it because he's a very, I don't know how to say, a very comported and composed man. He couldn't tell the lady that he has feelings for her, but he said anytime he sees her, he feels something. And this is the same man that his wife is saying that they've become estranged in the house. And she thinks it's okay. So my question is, should we be leaving it at that point? That, oh, now there's no feeling, and at the point in time, feelings goes away from marriage, so let's concentrate on the children. Meanwhile, your husband is going out and he's seeing somebody else and his heart is skipping a beat. So what are we supposed to do? Are we still supposed to be adjusting and forgetting about the love? Haja Mama, this question is for you and for the house as well.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Sasakina. So, with regards to the question that you are asking, that's why for the past years, I would applaud Form Work for setting up an office for premarital counseling. It is something that we are lacking in our community. Nobody goes for premarital counsel. The Zongo community is known for after marriage counseling. When you go and there is issues, which shouldn't be. You understand? So imagine at the initial stage, you come, there are learned people, doctor is here, they sit in the office, they do this for Fisabilillah. If you go to the churches, you pay and attend premarital counseling. You do that. And you do it and do medicals to ascertain that are you psychologically fit to go into marriage? Are you really prepared? What is the willingness? Is the man ready? What are some of the red flags that you can know? You know, we go into marriage in that we are coming from a different cultural background. What you call love in your house doesn't define in my house. To me, growing up, my brothers, I've been close to my brothers. So what I see we call love is weekend you don't eat in the house, you go out, you drive posh cars and other things. But to somebody, his responsibility is what he defined as love. He gives you food, he gives you two. Last 2 weeks, I think I refer one case to Aja. And the lady complained that, Salam alaikum, my husband, I think he doesn't love me. He's not being responsible enough. He just gives me 300 cedis every week. Just 300. Can you imagine? This is a graduate who has not started working. And she got 300, just 300 Ghana cedis. Even salad dress, sometimes he doesn't buy. So he just give you money and go and buy one. So you see, here, the definition of what she called love with what the guy is doing is totally different. And it boils down to effective communication at the early stage. When you transfer your love for your children and neglect the communication aspect between you and spouse, unresolved issue, unresolved kind of like misunderstanding, you think, oh, why did he and it's an idea and normal. You interpreted things wrongly, then there will be chaos. There will not be a realistic kind of movement in the marriage system. So I believe that there must be an effective communication. If one goes quiet, we should be able to understand what is the cause of this. Discuss issues, open up discussion. I realize that these days you are not on yourself. Is it normal? As a mood and I say, what did that do? Is it normal? You need to go into the person's life and then tend to understand. If not, at that level, you realize that there will be an emotional neglect. You get it? You felt like, oh, maybe there's some baby amfano, me are me myself, obia anyway. Now, bisa say at a point now, they will leave. Omoshas here from JSS, a month for are going into boarding house before they realize they want to kind of like everybody want to be by himself. The girls want to marry and go. I used to go to Hajia Fati's house. She has a very beautiful daughter, Semi. Now the first one is married. She's in Spain with her husband somewhere doing her own thing. The other one is gone. So when you go now, you're left with Hajia and the old man. The old man is on pension. Hajia is on pension. So if you have started, there is no effective communication. There is no emotional care and other thing. At this level, how are you going to manage your home? If it is not strong, nothing is built on it. You get it? Sasakina, I hope your question is answered. Okay. So maybe Aja want to tell us. I'm interested, people having long years, it is, they have a long years of marriage. So, yeah, she want to tell us what pushed her into marriage at the early stage.
We're sharing experiences here. Hi, Jane. It's not you. Ajama, please, which Ajama were you talking about? Oh, please share your views. You see, marriage is very important too. Most of us here are married, and some of us are doing things wrongly. Some of us think we are doing them in the correct ways, but they're actually the wrong ways. Some of us are actually suffering, and we think that Allah will be pleased with our suffering in the marriage. But you'll be shocked that He would prefer something else for us. So it is important that we express our views. Someone can pick something from it. A few days ago, I was listening to one sheikh. He had a platform where people called in to ask questions. So a gentleman called in, and he said that he wanted to marry someone, but the person's mother and father refused to give her in marriage to him because he realized the man does not have a place to live, like a decent place according to the father. And the man said that he can afford to do this and that. He can get a small this and get a small that. So does the man have right to stop his child from marrying? And the sheikh said yes, he does. And then the man said, no, you should give him, this is from the sheikh himself, you should give him something from the Quran or the Sunnah that shows that based on that, you can actually stop someone from getting married. And then he quoted the hadith that one, is it Asma, came to the Prophet that two people have brought proposals to me. Abu Sufyan and then Astaghfirullah, Muawiyah and then another person. Then he said that, oh, Muawiyah is hard-fisted, tight-fisted. That means he's stingy. Most times when people are stingy, they don't have, so they can't give much. And then he said the other person that also brought the proposal, he too, I think he said he's a bit abusive with women. But marry Usama, he will take care of. So you see, those two people that she even brought, he rejected, the Prophet rejected both of them for her. Based on, one is based on the finance, the other is based on the abuse or the violence. But you see, most of us today are in marriages that are even having much more severe forms of this trait. But we feel like, oh, as long as it is called sacrifice, Allah will be pleased with me being there because of my children. As Anja Mama was saying, at a point in time, the children will leave. You will now be sitting down and then you'll be wondering what to do with the rest of your life. Because over here you are with a man that you cannot even communicate with. You cannot do anything. And all the children you used to shout with, yell with, they've all left. Have you wondered how your life will be by then? So please, let's share our opinions, okay, so that we don't, some of us do not enter into things that are not good for us. Before marriage, people do not really look well. They don't look well. Please, I'm engaging us because no one has agreed to speak up. Haja, would you share? Okay. Haja, please, what was the foundation of your marriage? Haja, yes. What was the foundation of your marriage? You are not married? You are. Okay, so what informed you? What made you want to get married to whoever you married?
I don't have answer.
You don't have answer. Okay, no problem. Haja, will you continue with your talk?
Let me wrap up so that Aja will pick a section. After that, we'll introduce the question and answer section. So, in a nutshell, I think we have stated a lot of things that help in the foundations of a healthy marriage. So, just as our Prophet said, respect and kindness. The Prophet encouraged us that the best among us are those who are kind to their spouses. So you see, for Muslims, if we should follow the footsteps of our Rasul and then the Quranic teaching, I believe we wouldn't have much to worry about. So in conclusion, what I would like to say is that the foundation of a healthy marriage rests on faith in Allah, love and mercy, respect and communication, and patience and forgiveness, as our sister made mention. And then also mutual support and partnership. So we see the marriage as a form of partnership. I am in to give out my quota, my husband will bring. So together we raise a healthy family. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. Also, please, if you have any question, you can. Okay. You have a question.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ajia, my question is that I've heard some type of marriage in Islam. I don't know whether it is true or not, but today I want it to be clarified. I know maybe some people also heard it. An instance where the man will say that, I've taken you out of my wives, but you will just be staying in my house. I don't know if others have also heard it before. Is it what do I say? Is it Islamic? Is it Muslim to do that? A man and the wife will have issues, and the woman will be like, I'm not going, or sometimes they say the woman is of age or something like that, and the man will be like, we heard that matambuta. I don't know if some people have heard the terms before. The man will say, I've taken you out of my wives, but I'm taking care of you. Is that right in Islam? Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Please, we would want Hajia to proceed with her talk. So if you have any questions, you can write it down. If you think you might forget it, you can write it down, then pass it over. When we are done, during the question and answer session, we will have all of them answered, inshallah. So Hajia, I've noted your question down. We'll come to
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. Distinguished ladies, my sisters here, I greet you with the Islamic greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I am most grateful to be part of this morning's discussion. And I'm so happy because the whole discussion is about marriage. And marriage is through marriage that we establish families. And the family is the bedrock of every society. And so whatever happens at the family level becomes the general picture at the community level. And so when you find people in any society where you find any behavior, you can trace it down to the family level. Because we all come from families. We come from homes. We have imbibed certain qualities, certain characters, certain behaviors that we saw our parents do, or we saw members of our family. And so that is why in the past, when a child does or such a hair, you want to know the house, a home. There's a difference between, I tell my students that there's a difference between a home and a house. You can turn a house into a home. In the same way, you could marry into a home, and through your own action, you reduce your home into a house. Because in a home, when it affects one, it affects everybody. The mother hasn't come, she's gone to work, she hasn't come, the father is worried. Everybody is worried because nipa baako ye baaye no time aso ebia around 6-7 baako baaye obia aye worried. But in the house dan ye si ho me ba ma be didi ma dware me ko obia ba ubisa we wo he o say ubisa we o say that's a house, because nobody knows where anybody is. Ono ani nkola ubisa na o say minim bebe odi afa itifie ubisa papa oni bebe ani yiri akọ ubisa ni yiri oni say asan woman who don't know oni medjuma ni kunu eye. That's a house. So a dynasty will be a room koba. But that's not the kind of house Islam preaches. So in Islam, marriage is an act of worship. That's why the Prophet ﷺ said, when you marry, you perfect half of your deen. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was say, "Uwarepe na unyame somono emu fa asiye fa na aka no ubehwe na chese nyame som ni aka na bare nti se aware kwa efa unyame som mo efa eche wo se esombo e wonyame anim nti wa anhwe wa ware yi a affect half na aka. because it is within the family. Who worry or yere ne ba ne kunu. Nhihia e wo ho e mobohu a mobehu ama wo suba a mobende ne di. En na be kire se fa na aka no e be ko yie anase enko yie. Da bia me use mako teacher me use me student me say yam fa ne say class continuous assessment 50%. And no assignment awo ye niema bia wo ye na ye ma marks. Enu kwa ye 50. Ansa na social na e ba be no enu so ye 50. Ni nyina aka bomu a aye 100. Nti ye be score wa 100 something over 100. Ye score over 100. That's a continuous assessment no. Wo di agro ene party. Unsua de wona na mu sa ye ko wie ya. Ade ye 50. Nu konya 10 over 40. Wa wo sha exam be pass. Continuous assessment no wako 10 over 40. It's 50 na aka no. We are sure say social ye kwa we be 50 over 50. We the time baka wa anya 60 over 100. We see there be na say we dey wa to say u failure. You are on the way to failure. Because one mess up your continuous assessment. Sana worry tie o mess wa worry up e ka wo bibia. Nipa pi wo ho kwa worry. Wan komu ye wan konye ni ye opie ye wan sanko ni dedemu biem baako na kwa anye ye a opie a otimi esa pick up the pieces na wa sha ase biem ehwe nenim ekọ but bimu it depends on how far you have gone akọ 10 and 7 8 wa uni ejuma bia ye papa esu bo inti anya upia nkwayi na askata because you are not financially and economically sound to be able to support your children. Inti me de bia meka me I'll encourage every lady to be economically independent. Pesika mankasi pesika na disrespect ukunu. Esika, it gives you self-respect and self-esteem. Unama, you feel good about yourself. But say waga she crowd beto I just work up obia. Just say wonu wujidie wenijie e wo bi nsem opa o manipulate no. Kwan bia o person do faso no. Before after all I won't say eshenenum nipa pi wo ho ayete aware mu ene oni anije onyaya nka wajai ojaya akon ni ma mi single room na omo tin cho dudu na e ho na osa akwhye osi da bi nsu and that's why I keep telling young people that look, eduko school when na ko usu ejuma bi esua learn something to be economical. Obema ntimi e bibia ma papa. Wow, kan kwen sa e ma wo some vembi. Yes, but there are some men who are very responsible. If you no fia no have oye bibia wasifie kakra bibia wo ho. Ba he o kan to sika e wani gie sonko bia you are laughing. Yes, inti my topic I'm saying this because of what Amama started. I'm just building on it, so I'll move into the topic I was given. But before I go on that, she was talking about the foundation of marriage. Awarianu counselor now lay counselor. Inti there are certain things oko counselor niema bi wo ho a ya bisam woni be ma ni nyina mo amokwadwen ho recently me wie counseling course na ese me practicals nti me ko ya member ba ko bi o de Sakina onu ye professional counselor nti ese me ko ya practical nti na wanya young couples bi on person mo ware no se me betine mo na me ntie nti ye counseling sa ya bisa on some ha what bisa no way what your way why away munkoye in counseling you get yourself that be be ma no men ware no yɛti ye nneɛma bi kyerɛ mo mo amko discuss at the end of the day sɛ wo feel sɛ nea waka kyerɛ na yɛma na sɛ wo ware a ɛyɛ fine ɛno no kɔ a wo nka sɛ yɛkɔ yɛ agya pato na ka sɛ ma me ware no ana me yɛda bi nkɔbɔ me di ɔmo baaye yɛde yɛbisa nsɛm a do you know where they parted girl no ebusi ofim no Alice Sunna thick one wa hyɛ ne cap bɛrima si Tijaniya ability even though they are both Muslims baako yɛ Alice Sunna ɛyɛ nkyɛnkyɛn deɛ no thick we si Tijaniya ɔmo fi ɔmo yɛ maulidi yɛ kɔ 3 days 4 days na sɛ okay sɛ si ano mo nyinaa mo yɛ Muslim but sɛ we Alice Sunna we Tijaniya have you discussed it? Are you able to me expectations na me be kan no na me ma ehu examples no say sia no onu ya Alice Sunna we Tijaniya nti mo kwa what are your expectations na be man so on fa ho say ne yere no oya Alice Sunna but do maulidi time na fear ho man na omo ko ye duane 3 days na ye duane na say omo ko bebe omo ye maulidi 3 days girl no say eduane obetimi ai na pa so obakwa koda maulidi on mu 3 days de lalai aware a amba so no we o ma mba council yanka de ho we love each other mo na so nju na wo simo wo he kaka na ete maulidi time no eho na confusion ni beba me dey wan ka we antre me I didn't know about this but you didn't discuss it, you didn't ask it. Well, counseling is very important. So in counseling, there's what we call compatibility check. I'm taking you through one after the other. Mo worry. Muntie ni ye. O babana so kwa worry. Mo make sure say they go for counseling. Because e bie nyema pii so ema omo. Na ohu a because wo hia be na se mo dom ho a. Sometimes you get carried away by the love. Oh, tintin gram. Na se ma no tintin gram nim ne tietie for na ye omo. Tintin gram 6 pack. One I'm share. One share do be punching bag. Look him in the face and ask the hard questions. Question be who here? But sometimes yes. When who say you know, not too late. One of them is physical compatibility. Physically. Same jina hoy. Na ma share bra. So me jibane ho. You have to ask him. Say me si jina we say na me si tie ayama. Eya ka na ya wa ya wi a ye kodipa mu a na odi bi sie o. Ukunu wo hia. Na ase o fere bi e the confusion because you can't hide your partner for long. Obehu say ase mpia o fere say obeyi na kire. Ebia o ska or beska ne fie ye o islegon bibia o pe fully nyanya bibia o pe soft life na o pe no obenya wono ho ba ne height na odigina ho no o pe you can eat your cake and have it nipa na ba oba as a full package ye yiyim ofuana tu papa o boni o na yin na atu enti untimi upe luxury awo ni fie fe wo isile go wo car ukoni pe ma wa ja fati wa dress kama we ba be ma no ni yempia ka de te na zo a enti na tare ra mufta nya no ba ya wo ba je mene nkepo na abonam wo ba ya English yes so at the end of the day you can eat your cake and have it. So the compatibility check, when you come, they ask you, look at him physically. Are you okay with him? Maybe a plus body. Obo so na baby say, "Sir, she oni ni o, mo hwa mo e tell hwa mo, say na you sit na open the house say, "Ah." Be man so say wo say o tie ni open o say, "Ah, fine." Then the second has to do with biological compatibility. Ye nam we obi ani ni gene ebi am ye AS obi ye SS obi si o AA muko hia na se mu mienu nyina mu ye AS ha muko wo a wotwe mo tan ubanya ese sikla wo sikla nya ba pe na odo the love vanishes because you have this child to deal with, and it can be a problem. So they will expose you, they will tell you the advantages and the disadvantages. Take your own decision. Maybe biologically, this is somebody who is coming from a family who are diabetic, who are hypertensive. They have some kind of condition. It's genetic. Are you ready for it? When you are aware of it and you go and it starts, at least psychologically you have prepared yourself. You have discussed it. You have discussed your partner. And so when it comes, you know, we have these remedies that can help us. When you discuss it and you go in and it comes, it doesn't shock anybody. You are not surprised. And so biologically you must be compatible. And then they encourage you to do some checks, HIV and all that. You do all those things so that you are aware of what you are going in for. Because we have an instance where there was this lady who was a virgin. She never had anything to do with a man. A man came from Libya, married her, gave her HIV, she died. Meanwhile, she kept herself. She didn't have anything to do with any man. But this man came back. If we were doing checks, they would have identified that the guy has HIV. Well, cool, people free, just like that. So beware of the buggers. Then we have religious compatibility. Religiously, like she rightly said, you meet a guy, you say, oh, me, I'm a Christian. The lady is a Christian, and the man is a Muslim. Normally, he's a Muslim man who can marry a Christian lady. The other way is go, no. If you do it, they say you are doing what you want, not what Allah wants you to do. So religious compatibility. You like the example I gave, you could all be Muslims, but the other one is Shia. You are Ahl Sunnah or Tijaniya or Ahmadiyya. That's it. So you need to discuss all that. As for the Muslim man marrying a Christian woman, it's a whole package. Like she rightly said, now then she comes. Christianity is not hard on alcohol. It's not hard on and pork and all that. So in the house, are we going to have 2 sets of bowls? So when we sit at table, we want to eat. The other wants to take beer because the religion is lax on it. But you, as a Muslim, it's a no-go. So what do we do? So you must think about all this. You don't go in because when the reality check begins to hit you on the face, then you realize that you have chewed more than you can swallow. Then we also have age compatibility. Even though we say, oh, age is just a number, it's not just a number. Sometimes it can be a problem. And then in council, they tell you that, okay, if the man is older than the woman, maybe 5-6 years, fine. But when the age gap is too much, it comes with its own problems. Especially, there are situations you find the man is about 10 years, 15 years older than his wife, 20. Hey. Are you able to? Because you, as a husband and wife, you need to sit down and have discussion, there's communication and all that. And I always tell people that, look, you grow your marriage to a point where your husband becomes like your friend. When your husband becomes like your friend, you remove all the protocols. You remove all the, you know, not disrespect. That day I was giving an example. I said, oh, you can tell that, oh, Fatih, give me water. That's your friend. You can grow your marriage to that point. And no, you can discuss anything. It's not about let's go and call Marlon, so somebody to come and sit in before. No. Your husband is your friend. You play, you crack all the jokes and all that. And so the age compatibility is very important if you can grow it to that level. But if the age difference is too much, then the one becomes like, he's like your father. And normally you have that kind of listen. If it's a woman there, the woman is older than the husband, 1-2 years, fine. Some people say 5 years. After all, Nana Khadija was said to have been how many years older than the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? They said 15 years. Today, will a 15-year? They won't. They won't. Okay. And then academic compatibility. It shouldn't be the situation where the lady finished JSS, the man has his PhD. Eventually, you tell them, you see, because of my position, I need somebody who is Obayobola. So I keep telling ladies, keep adding value to yourself. It doesn't necessarily have to be academic. You could be learning something, polish it. Because I tell people that be who you are by virtue of you. Oh, she's a minister's wife. So when your husband is no more the minister, who are you? Former minister's wife. Why must you be carrying all this? Just be who you are by virtue of you. Yeah, her mama, she's an accountant. She's a chartered accountant. That's her. She's not a chartered accountant's wife. I hope I'm making myself clear. So this is, and when you come for counseling, these are some of the questions they ask you. Go and act and think about it. You have your masters. Your wife has SS. Are you sure you are okay with that? You just go and discuss it. Or maybe you love her. Okay, maybe when we marry, I will encourage her to also come up. But if you leave it at that end, you keep going, then along the line, it's like, the wife crap. That has happened to a lot of women. And you crap or USS. The papa okutani doctorate. Send a usha where his education has gotten to. Kaheni le no nye ko kwe isale be achiba udasbin na ta money school. Meanwhile, when you met her, you could have he will sleep when you are dead. Yes. Okay. So now, how to manage your expectations? And so, with what I have given you, in council they ask you, what are your expectations? What do you expect from your husband? The husband too will be asked, what do you expect from your wife? And so, this is what your wife expects, and this is what your husband expects. Look at them. Can you meet the expectations? There are some men who will tell you that they want fresh food. Monday to Sunday, it's all soccer report. Fresh food. He's not interested in your chefism. You must cook fresh. Monday to Sunday. You are also working. That is why he has said his expectation is that you will cook for him Monday to Sunday. He wants fresh food. Are you sure you can be cooking from Monday to Sunday? You have to be sincere to yourself. If you cannot, you tell them, please, I can't cook from Monday to Sunday. You have to be blunt. There are no ifs and buts. I can't cook from Monday to Sunday. She says she cannot do it. So what do we do? Maybe, okay, I don't mind. If for 3 days, I think I can manage with my food in the fridge, microwave, fine. Then this is when you begin to do what? You give and take. So you meet each other halfway. You need to discuss it. So expectations are a lot of people went into marriage. They thought that I love you. And sometimes we spend time preparing for the marriage than the marriage itself. The party, the lace, the gilling, you enter and day one is hard on your face. This is not what I expected. What did you expect? Both the man and the wife are shocked because you never discuss anything, only to realize that the man doesn't want food that is put in refrigerator. He wants to cook food every day. And then you say, I didn't know that this is how it is. You didn't know what? You are in already. So what do you do? And so it is important when you go for counseling, you go into marriage with some manageable expectations. You don't expect too much. and you would have discussed them anyway. This is what I expect. And so maybe the wife too expects the husband to be A, B, C, D. And then if he's not able to say, oh, as for this one I can't, but this one I'm not able to. Okay, if you can come to this level. So you agree. So when you go, there are no surprises, because I've already told you that I can't cook from Monday to Sunday. So you can't tell me that I should cook. We have discussed it. And I told you I only do 3 days. So it's either 3 days or that's it. And I don't believe if you agree and you go in, the person will do that. So that is where the frank discussion takes place. And that is where you develop what? The communication skill. For any marriage to succeed, there must be effective communication. It's not communication. The moment you introduce a third party, you are doomed. When there's any confusion, until the third party comes to sit in, the two of you cannot engage. So you must make sure you engage in healthy communication. Very, very important. No matter how difficult it is, you need to communicate. And so, managing expectations in marriage one of them, there's a point they give that navigating cultural and religious expectations. Maybe I'm imagining in the Upper West, is somebody from Upper West here? Yes. And we don't do stew. Mono, didn't cutting quine and tea. Akọ mara Zabermani almost you know young kuruma Zaberma nasuku yang akwa Zaberma gidanga shinkafa da miyan kubewa. Can you imagine? First shock. Hey, now where they are saying cultural shock, because you are coming from different background. So how do we do? Are we going to be preparing rice with granule soup at the stew or okra soup? And so the culture, sometimes we look at these things and then we bypass very good men or women, because we emphasize on we remain doing all this. Meanwhile, Islam has given us a criteria that when you want to marry a woman, you can marry a woman for what? Her beauty, her social status, her wealth, or her religiosity. And that if you choose a woman who is religious, that is the best for you. So you choose somebody you have shared values with. I tell people that choose a man or a wife who will help you to grow spiritually. Spiritual growth. In this month of Ramadan, maybe you marry a wife who is very good at tahajjud, but the husband comes from a background where he didn't imbibe those things. And so gradually, Tashimu Imana, 2 rakat, or the next and 4. Because the wife is okay, gradually, before we realize, through the wife, the husband has become used to doing tahajjud. And maybe the husband too is fond of doing Monday and Thursday fasting. But the wife is a type Monday to Sunday she's eating. So she said, okay, I will fast together. So through, I'll help you to fast. You are fasting before you realize the wife is also used to fasting Mondays and Thursdays. You are helping each other to grow spiritually. This is what you look out for. The material things are okay. They are good, but that is not the emphasis. Because sometimes, if you follow the material things, you will get it. That's why the Quran says what? Alhaakum mutakasir hatta zumtumul maqabir. You'll be following the worldly things before you say Jack, what you are supposed to send to your ahira, so that when you go and get it there. You neglected it. Before you realize you are in the grave. And so sometimes we live in a society where we don't come from background. Does influence who we become, and so this can be a challenge. But that as Muslims, if we are Muslims and want to go by the principles of Islam as far as marriage is concerned, Islam came and lifted human being above tribal affiliation. So yeah, it's okay. It is not my fault that I came from Upper West. It is not her fault that she can, hey, where are you from? Yes, maybe you are from Northern. Somebody to say Gonja and all that. God knew why He put us where He put us. I didn't decide who my parents should be. Those are the best parents Allah has given to me. And so it shouldn't be a barrier for me not to be able to marry into another family. And so because of that background, when you are married into another family, there are a lot of expectations. But when the couples communicate, when you discuss it, there's healthy dialogue. People, this is how I have for my place. Maybe you marry a husband who's in their home, their place, when you have to greet, like the Gonjas, you go flat on your stomach. And then you are used to just standing and greeting. Then you have to let her know that in the where we are going, when we go and greeting, you have to go flat. So you have to let her appreciate that this is how my people are. And if you don't communicate it, you embarrass each other. She will go in, and when the expectations are too high, she's not able to meet the expectation. Because nobody has schooled her about the fact that in this culture, this is the way things are done. Secondly, the other challenge expectation are the religious values. For us, fortunately for we are ladies, the religious values, you definitely will have to marry a Muslim. You have to marry a Muslim. And so if you marry a Muslim, you all have certain religious, we have our Islamic religious values. And those are the ones that are supposed to guide our relationship. And so, as far as Islam is concerned, when you marry, your wife is not a slave. Even though they say the woman should submit, there's a reciprocation of the submission. You also respect her as an equal partner in the marriage. It's not a master-servant relationship. Even though in some situations, which is more cultural than religious, in some cultures, as for the woman, she's at the beck and call of the husband. She has no say in anything. She's never consulted. The man takes every decision. As if to say, the woman sitting there does not have what it takes to be able to make any meaningful contribution to the marriage. But women as we are, Allah has gifted us certain qualities that men who have realized it have become successful in their marriages. That's why they say behind every successful man, there's a woman. Because Allah gifted that we have a very strong intuition. The man can tell you, Fatih, I'm going here. And I can tell her, don't go. You don't know why you are saying he shouldn't go. But something is telling you that he shouldn't go. And for some people, that's why when we grow older, it is so strong. Then they give us what? They say we are witches. We have a very strong intuition. Sometimes we will think about it. By the time you open your mouth, it is happening. And so there are some people, when they think about it, they don't quickly say it. Because when you say it and it happens, it's a natural intuition. And God gifted us that because of the role we are going to play in society. You've given birth to a baby. This baby doesn't speak. He can't do anything. But the mother can look at the baby and know that I call us in the niku. This boy, this baby is this. You are able to read the baby. Sometimes you are outside, if the baby is in the room, the movement in your breast can alert you that you can't really the child is up. Witchcraft the neck. That's a witchcraft. I tell people that we are witches. All women are witches. But for our witches, we will not be able to raise responsible men to become presidents and MPs. We need that witchcraft. It's a strong intuition that Allah gave to us. So in the same way, we see things that men don't see. The little things that men take for granted is what we see. And those little things are the ones that make a home a home. You can see a small door. Hey, there's this hole here. The man will look the hole, he won't see. Hey, the book where baby, and so it's like we like talking plenty, and there's a hole here, oh, there's this here. After the man, the day he will react is when he comes and the whole ceiling has dropped. Then he say, ceiling. Is that what we go through? Yes. And so the little things that we see, men don't see it. And so in marriage, women are supposed to be respected and appreciated as people who have certain values, who have been valued in the sight of Allah, and for which reason they are the backbone of every family. That's why they say even the men are more or less your firstborn. Where's my socks? Where's my shirt? I left my shoe here. We are like Zoom lion. They keep dropping and you keep picking. You'll be going around and picking everything. You arrange them where you want them to be. So sometimes ladies go in there thinking that, hey, they will be no dodge there. When you remove your shirt, you leave it here. You remove your shoe and you leave it here. You're laughing. It's happening. You leave your shoe here. Men don't grow. I tell them that, look, don't let this be a problem. How long will it take you to just take the shoe and put it where you are? Because we women, we want an organized environment. And so the shoe must be here. The cap must be here. So I won't say anything. You remove it, I just take it and go and put it there. You put the cap here, finish drinking, you leave it. I'll take it and go and put it where out. 1 second. How many does it take to do that? And that is where the aspect of patience and kindness come in. If you want to resolve your marriage, conflicts will come about. There are normal things in marriage, in everyday life, and conflicts come because we are human beings. The man and the wife, the husband, the woman who are married are not two angels. They are two human beings who make mistakes. We are fallible. And because we make mistakes, occasionally we'll step on each other's toes. But even when you come to acting, once there are issues and you want to discuss them, I mean, we have to be calm. When you are shouting and I'm shouting, we can't hear each other. So you approach it with some level of what? Emotional intelligence. When we talk about emotional intelligence, yes, the person has hurt you. You want to react, but you react in such a way that you are able to state your case strongly, but you still are able to relate to each other. Not to say words that later on you can't take the word back. The word back. I tell people that when you are angry and you can keep quiet, you can hold your mouth. Sometimes it helps you. Personally, I don't know how I quiet. When I get angry, I don't talk. When you hear me talking plenty, it will be fool. But when I'm angry, I just keep quiet. Yes, that's it. That when you are angry, you sit down. If you are sitting down, you should lie down. And so when you hold your mouth without talking, it saves you. Because sometimes out of anger, you say certain things, you use certain words. Later on, you wish you hadn't mentioned those words. It is too late. Once you say it, you can't take it back. And I have experienced the silence. Sometimes somebody does something to me, or maybe I want to react. And sometimes you know exactly what you have said. You know the words you have used for the person, but you choose to keep quiet. Upon a second reference, you realize that, hey, it was good I didn't say these things. If I said this thing, maybe later on certain things happen. You say that, oh, if I had said this thing, it would have been very bad. And so when the conflicts happen, communication again is very important. You need to communicate with each other in a way that you should be able to resolve it. There's no problem that cannot be resolved unless you decide you don't want to resolve it. Yes. And so, and then The other issue about conflict resolution is that you don't take entrenched position. Me any imagine no. Let me be a so how are you going to resolve it? But yet, die and the never the bonnie careless and a massacre and a sa. On also baby, Jina. So the two of you, nobody is softening his or her position. How do we have peace? And sometimes the elders will tell you that in a relationship, one has to be a fool. Except by Jimmy. It's like a come alu. Jeno luake lele lumo yo he. Amado aisaman lafia. You pretend you are a fool. You have heard, you haven't heard. I told my daughter, I said, Naja, you are going to marry. I said, when you marry and you want to survive, you can't know the man and everything about him before you go. Sometimes you get in, then the real man you have married begin to unfold. So you use your eyes and your ears, not your mouth. You use your eyes, you watch, you see certain things happening. Okay. The expectation you are talking about, maybe you went in with certain expectation, but having entered using your eyes or your ear, you heard certain things, you saw certain things like, oh, if this is the way this family is, then you have to change, reorganize your expectations. I tell people that when you get to know, sometimes your husband may not even know. As I stand here, I've been married for the past 33 years. May 3rd, I'll be 34. There are certain things I know. Up to date, my husband doesn't know that. I know. Nobody told me. But as we go into the family order, I was using my eyes and my so it helps you to re-strategize so you can fit yourself into that family and settle in there. And then it's like, hey, this lady has done well, oh. But fitting in, come on. You don't know. She's picked a lot of information that has helped her to readjust herself to be able to stay in that family. Okay. Hey, ni family ya fa o. Asa kan je na ji system ka ta tell ka ya ka. Hey, na kan yo. Ni say mi won wa ka ma mi yue na ka. Hey, mi la ya na ka hey. Kan na kan ya wo ku yo le. Oh. Amina. Ni won no no o ka wo kan to mi ni. E cho ni ka se mo ko ni. Oh. So I tell people that young ladies, I say, when you go to marriage, use your eyes and your ears and shut your mouth. Because the moment they know that you have heard something, and you are, I should family kwaka cookie, and tell me, and say, Namuti, now me chum, me now, sister, no, now or can say, let me say, Anka. Oh, Fati, what's ya? See, I dear film, so you pick the information, then you know how to handle everybody in that family. So essentially, expectations are normal, but when you have high expectation, especially when you haven't done counseling and you have high expectation and you go into marriage, sometimes it blows on your face. Yes, it blows on your face. And so at the end of the day, when the conflicts come about, which are part of some of the expectations in marriages, we have to have a way of dealing with it. And then how to build harmony and partnership. Building harmony and partnership comes with, again, communication, showing kindness and respect for each other. No marriage, if you want to have a peaceful marriage, a harmonious marriage, it doesn't come on a silver platter. You work at it. You have to be deliberate about it. You intentionally work at your marriage and ensure that it works. Because you can't, a peaceful marriage does not come on its own. It is what you do towards each other that leads to that peace. You have patience, you must be forgiving. These are two key ingredients. If your marriage will be harmonious, because you are dealing with human beings, like I said, you are not angels. You wrong each other. There are some of us, since we got married, from year 1 up to today, certain things our husbands have done to us, we are still holding on to it. But when you forgive, that's it. It's very difficult to forgive. But if you can forgive, you free yourself from that bondage of what? Mental illness. Because if you don't forgive, anytime you see the person, it reminds you of what the person has done to you. And then your BP is up there. And then patience is a matter of all the values. Because in the Quran, Allah has mentioned that God is always with the patient. Because your marriage could be your trial. Allah can try you with your marriage, can try you with children, He can try you with poverty, He can try you with health, sickness. And so when you are patient, you can achieve anything you want to achieve in life. And as far as successful marriages are concerned, there are no successful marriages that have progressed, that have lived to 50, 60 years without patience and forgiveness. As for the love, you enter and realize that Sana is a mirage. You love each other all right. It is there. Like she rightly said, the two of you met. I don't know, all the children will go and live. And so when you marry, it doesn't mean when you have children, you concentrate on the children at the expense of growing your relationship. Because you started at 2 before the children came. Whatever goes around, comes around. One day, all the children will leave. And the two of you who will still be together. And so if you haven't grow your marriage, if you haven't nurtured it, if you haven't built a strong relationship, when it is now just the two of you, you realize that you are two but emotionally apart. You are living in a big house, but you are not emotionally together because you have separated. You didn't consciously bond as you started, or even when you had children. Instead of continuing the bond, you concentrated on your children, and now there's that gap between you and the other partner. I remember I saw a video of somebody who said the husband and the wife should come and their children. And when they came, the man was here, the woman was there, the children were in the middle. He said, no. The children went, he said the children should stand, and then they should stand in front of the man and the husband. So they were here and the children were in front of them because there were the two of you before they came. Why do you are there and there? It means they have separated you. When they finally leave, you see that gap. The man is here, the husband is here. There's gap in it because the children will leave anyway. So he said, no, you should be this way, and they stand in front of you. When they move, you are still together. And so in Islam, marriage is an act of ibadah. The way you worship it's an act of worship. Whatever you do forms part of your accountability on the day of judgment. And so you cannot just live your marriage anyhow. It must be guided by the principles of Islam, which is what you live your marriage life to please Allah. And if you have to please Allah, I mean you have to practice the value of forgiveness, the value of patience, the value of what? Kindness and generosity among your family. And that's why the Prophet said, the best of you is the best to his family. And I am best to my family, so I am the best of you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Inshallah. Hajjah Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much. It was very much insightful, and then it was also very much interesting. Please, we want to, before we proceed, we want to come to a consensus. Should we break and perform salah, then we come back for our question and answers, or should we give ourselves about 30 minutes for the question and answers, then we pray and then leave? It's past 12. Yes, it's 12:01. It's 12:01 now. So I believe if we pray and come, we can be able to discuss more elaborately because people have questions. But nothing wrong if you fear anything like that, any problem happening, for you to come to a consensus, an agreement. And indeed, an agreement is khair, is good. Now, scholars are saying that there are two narrations. They say one, the Prophet ﷺ will not just divorce a woman because she became old. It's not like the Prophet to do that. But others are also saying that Sauda feared that, she said that she was old, and she did not have feelings, she did not have attraction towards men. She didn't want to have intimacy. So that means that the night the prophet will come to her, there will be no intimacy. That's what that's the stage she is in now. And that's why she decided to give that night to Aisha. But she was still the prophet's wife. He never divorced her. She was in his household. Please, I hope your question has been answered and we've been clarified.
Who, you live well with the person though, but financially you have difficulty because, okay, if your husband doesn't earn much to cover the family and you have to do most of the work, is it Islamic? Do you consider it as ibadah if you don't feel anything? One. Then secondly, if you're about to marry and you realize that the person is not in the condition that will support financially, do you have to take up the task and say that it doesn't matter, for the sake of Allah, Allah will make a way, it's fine?
Okay. Ofana Ekechi, Keji, Nyemari, Owule, ebe financially sound like well, support of most of the thing. Is it Islamic? Adeshi that thing like hello. Is it Islamic?
Your husband is not financially sound, and you have taken over. Is it Islamically sound? Or is it? It was okay, and then along the line. Alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Yes, our sister is saying that you married the man, then along the line, financially, it was not okay, and then you want to come in. Is it allowed? Yes. The financial responsibility is on the man. But in a situation where he's not able to meet his financial obligation, and the two of you have agreed, nobody is forcing you to do it, but that you felt that because of the relationship and the fact that this is somebody you love and you have married, why not? That's why we are in together as husband and wife. And so you can help to sustain the family by supporting him financially. And for you, because it is not your responsibility, it becomes an act of ibadah. It becomes sadaqah. So Allah rewards you for what you are doing. Everything. Some scholars have even said, even the house chores we do, the cooking we do, everything we do, we are not supposed to do it. So what we are doing is sadaqah. But they also add that we get a lot of ladder, we get a lot of reward from all this activity. But one word from our mouth collapses everything. By the end of the day, we collapse everything before we go to bed. But for me, I say, yes, so they say we do so much. We help. Men who are appreciative indeed know that women are the backbone of many homes. But that we do all that, and then for us, within seconds, we blow it. And then, if you are going in, and you can see all the signs that financially, this man, look, marriage in Islam is not for Ilah, it's Sunnah. So if the man doesn't have what it takes to keep a wife, the Prophet says he should keep fasting. It's not by force. You must have what it takes to keep a woman. So marriage is meant for men and not males. The difference between a man and a male. Yes. So when you are married, marry a man, not a male. A male is just he has an organ that shows that this is a male. But you must graduate from being a male to a man, and it is your responsibility that makes you a man. And so when you are going in, for me, as a counselor, that is a red flag. You go in there knowing very well the man is not financially sound, and you are not too sure whether he has any plans in place. As sometimes you can see that, me, when I was going to marry my husband, he was not working, but I knew there are prospects, but we were both graduates. It's not that he hasn't gotten a job. And so eventually we all got job, and we grew in our profession up to this thing. Yeah, so that one, you know that with this background, in future, maybe you work at it and you get a job, and then things you get good. But if you don't see any sign of the man having any job, doesn't have any skill, any employable skill, but you don't think that, okay, for now he's not working, I'm going in hoping that it will work. What if it doesn't work? And by then you have children. What do you do? So sometimes you have to do serious introspection. You have to reflect seriously about it before you commit. Because a lot of people thought, that's what the younger people are saying today, they don't believe in the baby. You go in hoping that baby, so I won't tell you don't go in, but think through. Make sure you have discussed with the person. You can see that the person has prospered. There are everything showing that indeed going forward you will get a job that will help you financially to be able to maintain a decent family. But not knowing that the boy don't even know what he's doing, then okay, I'm going hoping. Okay, Assalamu alaikum.
Allah help you. Now somebody asked a question. She wants to say something. Let me
I have a question. You want to add something?
Once again, Ajia, can a woman remarry a man that they have divorced?
Your answer straight away.
As in Islam, when you divorce your husband, for you to be able to come back, you have to remarry, marry a different man, consummate the marriage, divorce him before you come back. Islam did, the Quran did this so that before you decide you want to divorce, you have thought through it, and then you really want to divorce. How many men will want their wife to divorce them, go marry again, and come back? And so as part of the measures to ensure that before you pronounce divorce, you should know the consequences of it. That's why it gives you 3 months. You are doing the iddah, you sleep with the man on the same bed, you do everything in his room, hoping that even if you love one day for the 3 months to be okay, and then you decide that you are no more, that's it. You are back to husband and wife. But the moment it ends, there's no marriage between you. The woman will have to go, get married, consummate the marriage. It's not like she fake marriage. You will marry the person, consummate it. After some time, you divorce and come back to your old husband. How many women will do that? I won't do it. Since I'm gone, it's final. By the time you get to that stage, it's a point of no return.
Want to attempt even the second one. So that's the context at which I'm coming from. Where they throw your things, go away, no either, no anything. Then you are there, they bring you letter or they return your drink. You are there 2, 3, 4 years later, the man comes back, the area limams, and then the limam of the area, somebody you respect, you come back, and so wanga ayi salati da safi ayi aure ukoma kuzama tare.
She's trying to say that if your husband divorces you once, not after the 3rd divorce, once, right? He asks you to go first time. 3 times. Like he said it with a smile 3 times. Okay, let me say this at your friend Daniel Baba. Before I got married, I was given some books. One of them was mainly on divorce in Islam. And some of the issues that you come across, you realize that there are a lot of things we've done as Muslims in marriage that are wrong. In fact, there are people who have married after their divorce and they are not even divorced from their first one, according to Islam. it's because of how we do all of these things. The way she's saying, you throw her things out, you don't mind after some time, someone will come and say this and that. In Islam, if the woman is the one leaving the marriage, then she has to return her mahar, her dowry. If she returns her dowry and they accept it, then there is no marriage. But pack and go, in fact, to the extent that they were even digesting some of the statements that goes like, like the way she said, you are not my wife again. They will even ask the person, did he directly say it in the letter that you are not my wife again, or did he say I've divorced you? It's so much complicated. And and then if we are not careful, we might say something that Allah will be angry with us. Because even in the injunctions of divorce, Allah himself said, Tilka hududullah fala takrabuha. These are the limits Allah has set. Do not transgress them. Do not go beyond them. You understand? So I believe that we need to go back to the Quran and the Sunnah. As women, as I always said, if something like this comes, you also go and do your own research. Then you see your imam and say that this and this is what they are saying according to this. But what is the situation? Because it can get very much complicated, like what she's talking about. I don't even get the head and the tail of it.
Yes, because like she herself rightly said, we have allowed cultural practices has influenced the kind of Islam we practice. So in most cases, we are practicing our culture thinking that we are practicing Islam. There are a lot of marriages, there are a lot of people who are living as husband and wife, but in the sight of Allah, Islamically, there's no marriage between the two of them. Islamically, they are not married because they have done a lot of things that have disorganized, separated them as husband and wife, but they are still living. Yes, and so sometimes we have to be very careful. That's why Islam makes it very difficult for you to pronounce divorce. And when it comes to divorce, nobody wants to be part of it. No imam wants to be the ones who are officiating over divorce. Marriage, yeah, everybody wants to bring people together. But when it comes to divorce, everybody's run away. So that is why, out of frustration, the woman will move away, the man will also go his way. And so before it can be certified that indeed they are divorced, they have to do a lot of investigation to know exactly what happened before the woman went away, and to see whether the marriage is still there. Like she rightly said, there are some marriages that the first one was not divorced, and she's going to marry on top of the marriage again. Because the first one was not dissolved. And so issues of divorce are very, very delicate. And so you must be sure, even imams who work on it, Hajumar, for instance, people say that you have for research, look at it, then then Shaguma said, he doesn't bashike keshalo, we aure kafezo ya mutu, likafani yake maure shabinne. Before it comes, when you listen to both sides, they've been living together as girlfriends. I mean, because there's no marriage between them. So he only helps the two to do the right thing and divorce properly. And when you divorce, somebody asks whether you have to talk compensation. When you divorce, when a proper divorce takes place, the man is supposed to give the woman an amount, and the amount will be decided based on his financial position. You give the woman something to take care of herself until such time that she gets a man to marry. Yes, something of herself is supposed to be done. But no, lalai, nobody does it. That's why I say before you go, be financially sound.
You're talking to someone before the marriage, and then you realize that the person is interested in maybe tall or short or fair people, but you are not that. And then the person tells you that, oh, right now, dear, I'm not focused on that because I'm trying to build an empire, so we can go. Should you see it as a red flag? Me, it's capital letters. Because Hajia, before you come in, I know someone that we've all known that the gentleman likes fair ladies. But he met this lady, dark lady, very pretty lady, pretty smile. She's very beautiful. Oh. He married her. Everybody is like, oh, but this man likes fair, but he still married her. Think about 2 years into the marriage. He married another lady and she's fair. And she's not even prettier than the other one, but she's fair. You see, I see it like marriage for we women against men. It's like 4:1. We have ideally only one choice. They have 4 chances. So before a man marries a woman, he's probably thinking, oh, well, if she's that, I have a chance to marry a fair one, so it's okay. But it is up to us to look and look well. Before the marriage, we open our eyes. After the marriage, you close your eyes. But before the marriage, please open. Because when it gets to that point, men can be selfish. He will just think about himself. Please, Haja, please.
Yes. They are naturally selfish. They are selfish. That is how they are. So I tell people that Muslim marriages are potentially polygamous. All of us, our marriages are potentially polygamous. And but it's not polygamy that is not good. It's the way we have practiced it. Because, for instance, and sometimes when you look at it, it's for our own good. Let's assume that I got married to my husband. We love ourselves so much. But through no fault of mine, I cannot have children. Must he divorce me? Islam must I also stop him from having kids? How is he going to have kids? If he's one man, one wife. Now I cannot have children. He wants to have children. And Islam permits him to have children, but not outside wedlock. He must be properly married before he has children. How are you going to have it? And so the practical way to keep me as a wife, love me and treat me like any other wife, and still have the chance to also have his children, is to practice polygamy. So polygamy came, it is an exception and not a rule. But unfortunately, we have made it a rule. It's like every man must marry 4. When you have one, it's like, oh, your wife has she has given you something, so your wife has control. But it's not the case. Because it is not about I have the means, I have money. It's about justice and fairness. That's the basis of polygamy. If you can't do this, please, even if you have money, you have everything in this world. If you can't be fair and just to your woman, don't go. You don't qualify. So it's not about having money, being able to keep the woman. If you can be fair and just, fine. But these days, it's like the woman, they say the woman, we are more than the men. So he has black, tall, short, black, all the colors, the height and everything. And so that's why I say, before you go, when you do your counseling, you must have at the back of your mind that this man can bring somebody in one along the line. Are you prepared for it? So that's why I keep saying, you keep adding value to yourself. Be financially sound. When you are financially sound,
she's married to one brother. They have 3 kids, but he's having troubles with his finances, and she has been doing it for years. And while she's doing it, he's also flirting around. So she wants to know that should she leave, but she's also considering they have 3 kids, and so please help her.
The children. She's considering what?
children.
The children.
Against her mental health.
Yes, that's the word. So the children against her mental health. I had opportunity to be at Pantan Hospital. To be honest with you, the number of women that are sitting in Pantan just because of the children is pathetic. I don't believe like there is no harm in divorce. My sister, if you think you can't run away for your life, to go there and take care of your mental health, work and take care of your children is better. Some men are naturally narcissists. They are narcissists. A lot of us don't notice it. They are dodging responsibility. They don't want accountability. Women, we are soft-hearted. Sometimes you feel like, oh, let me help him. But some realize when you are supported, and he also does his own way. I went to a house when I met a man washing his wife's things, cleaning homes, whilst the wife is working. And he still said, my sister, look, oh, all my family doesn't want to talk to me because they said my wife has fooled me because he supported her. And he says, well, when I married her, I was a driver. I keep on having accidents. She asked me, maybe I should stop that job. It's not mine. She gave me money to start another business. It rolled down. And this woman is going to Togo, Benin, buying maize, corn to come to Accra and sell. So she realized that she forced and built a house, opened a shop in front and said, okay, since you go to, anytime you move your car, it's either accident or something. I think just be managing the stores and the kids are home. Once I also go and struggle. And he agreed. And his family are saying, no. This woman, I think she has taken you somewhere and other things. But what if the husband is not realizing all these things? And that is where unexpected unrealistic expectations comes in marriage. Because when I'm walking into a marriage, I comes with my expectation. You also have your expectation. So the two of us meet. Where does conflict start? It is when my expectation is not meeting your expectation. And even if it is not meeting, and I say, well, you know, I'm getting tired, I'm getting exhausted, too much stress for me, another thing. It is that repair, your feedback to me, because it means that I have entrusted some powers to you. That, oh, you are my man, you are the head of the family, you are responsible for this. And if you are not meeting this, it is for you to have oh, I know, say, I appreciate the support you are giving. I know, say, I met a guy who said, Aja Mama, I want to give you this hard ticket for your friend. And I say, why? He says, I've realized throughout our marriage, I've been on the field work. I only come home and go in 2 weeks, and she'll be pregnant. She takes care of all our 4 children. I was always not around. And I want to appreciate it. So such a woman, will she get that emotional neglect? No. You understand? So the repair section, when you are able to convince the person that, oh, I really appreciate you. I have acknowledged your grievances. I've acknowledged them. But if you want to bring the man in you to show that, I am the man of the house, and so on. Meanwhile, you are not responsible. You are not being accountable. Yes. Yes, so the Kawamul ala Nisal is not coming. You are not doing the Kawamun ala Nisal. So that's why I just said you should marry a man and not a female, a male. You get it? So in that case, you have become the male of the house. Yes.
I always summarize what Sister Sakina is saying, that you will be bought the way you market yourself. You'll be bought the way you market yourself. Like she rightly said, set boundaries. There are certain things, if you don't accept them from day one, the moment you begin to come from, okay, back home, it doesn't matter. They'll take you for granted. So in counseling, they will open your eyes to all that. You ask all the hard questions. If you are not getting the answers you want, it's a red flag. You think again. Do serious reflection over that. And I remember I was reading something about what to look out for a man. A man who you have shared goals and all blah blah blah. And then the last point was that trust your instinct. Sometimes you meet the person, you are having conversation, he's a nice guy, you can see that he's okay, but still there's something you can't pinpoint. You cannot point that this is something, but there's something is not adding up. You can't pinpoint that thing. That is your instincts alerting you. Don't rush. Just take a step back and do serious reflection and pray about it. Because sometimes we pray to God, when even the answer we pray for the man we want will not be packaged the way we want it. So even when Allah is showing you signs that that guy is not a good guy, because because that is not the answer you want, you pretend you haven't seen the answer. You pretend you haven't seen that, but you can see that there's something telling you that this guy, but you think you are in love. Oh, yeah, he's TikTok, he's handsome, that's what. And then when you go, then later, I saw all this so far, something was saying, and then why didn't you listen to that something? There's something that was telling you that be careful, no, that is it. Sometimes you not see exactly what it is, but deep down, something is telling you that I like this guy, I like everything, but there's something I'm not too comfortable with, but I can't pinpoint it. That is your instincts alerting you. Listen to it and step back and reflect. Pray about it, and Allah will show you that place, either it is dangerous or something else. But sometimes we ignore it, and then we go thinking that when I go, everything will be okay. It doesn't work like that.
They said the men want to have their space, so we want to wrap up. One question, the first one is that, is dating allowed in Islam? And the second one is, she learned that if you are pregnant and it's 40 days, it's not yet 40 days, it's okay to abort the baby. And the third one is, we are talking about communication. But what if the man does not want to open up, he's an introvert? Because there are some men that you bring the question to the table and then they'll just shut the whole thing down before you carry on.
Okay. If your husband, your man is the type, he's an introvert. You know, some of the men, they are very quiet. They are very difficult to live with. You don't know when he's happy and when he's not happy. They are very difficult to live with. And so, you will have to know, you have to do a lot of work to know the man you are marrying and when you can approach him with any issue. Because even with the ones who are open, you have to study the mood of your husband or your man before you start introducing certain things. If the man has come home, he's already tired, he's looking stressed and all that, then you also come with it, he will fly at you. It's a natural reaction. And so they will tell you that when you marry a man, try and know his soft spot, where when you hate, you get him to do what you want him to. It is difficult, but when you study critically, you get to know the soft spot of your man, and that's it. And so you know that after my man, when he's in this mood, we can discuss anything. Yes. And then the abortion thing, as for abortion, the moment, according to scholars, unless the pregnancy poses danger to the mother, if they realize that keeping this pregnancy, you lose the mother, then this is already a fetus and the mother is there, maybe there are other children, then it's permitted. But apart from that, under no circumstance do you want to say, oh, because why did you even go to have the pregnancy in the first place? Yes. And so in Islam, it is never allowed unless there are genuine reasons why. If the life of the mother is in danger, then they may want to abort that. And then the other one is dating. Well, dating depends on when you conceptualize dating in the Western concept, then you say it's haram. Because how can you marry somebody you don't know? Dating is about, in Islam, we say courtship. It's about you knowing the person, he also knowing you. And the questions we are talking about counseling, it's not that you sit in front of the counselor and you are asking those questions. The two of you meet and you discuss it. But there's a limit to which you go. If you are caught in courtship, you don't get up and go to his house, you are washing his things, cooking for him and all that. What kind of nonsense is that? Then you are married. And sometimes when you do so, you are cheapening yourself. What will motivate him to come and marry you? You are already doing it when he hasn't even paid the dowry. So what will push him to come and marry you? Yeah, he's already benefiting. You are cooking, washing, and doing everything for him. So why should he come and marry you? She can then, after washing and all that, then the others is follow. That's all. Angama. Don't wash anything. Don't do anything. If you want me, come and marry me. So you can courtship, you can ask the question. During courtship, you get to know the person. When you are angry, how do you react? What do you like? What are your... you ask all those questions, his likes and the dislikes and all that. getting to know each other, even though you may not know each other completely. Some of them know you until you enter, you don't know. So I tell people that when you are getting married, pray that the other aspect of the man or the other aspect of the woman you don't know, when you finally marry and you begin to see them, God should give you a kukudro and the patience to be able to withstand it. Because there are some people who have married, what they know now, if they had known earlier, they will not go. But it's too late. You're already in it. So you have to keep going around it and managing. That's where you begin to endure marriage instead of what? Enjoying marriage.
Since mothers are here, there is some growing concept that is going on in our schools these days. The young girl, JSS, primary schools. There are some organizations, in fact, licensed and authorized, going around distributing pills to prevent pregnancy to our young girls. And they come and they will talk to you, oh, as for the sex, you can go into it so that you won't get pregnant, be taking pills and other things. It is very rampant. So it has made our kids to realize that, oh, there's nothing wrong in premarital sex. So please, let us keep an eye on this kind of things, advise our young ones, and take it as a matter of urgency. And then also, Colin Dada Milks, I will request that I can see some renovation going on. If you can channel it through the masjid to create an office for you, either up or down, to open a counseling section here. It will really serve a help to our community. And so that at least as we are family, our kids are involved. When there is a means that, oh, my child is getting married or a sister or something, encourage her to go through counseling. It's really helping. So that to help, we don't want after marriage counseling, where you have to go, there are issues, you need to come back and be struggling with it. At that time, in fact, there are cases that when I'm so tired, I refer it to Hajia. Some of the things, those who stood in for the marriage, their interest was that Sunday, the Ashiga Fudu, the Yayi, and the Rabote, and the rice and the meat, they eat and finish. When you start having challenges, nobody cares. So let us get our significant others. I mean, we are around. If you call us, anything for the Ummah will come. And then we can help so that our society and community will be safe. Because today I might say, oh, some of them may burn you through our I don't care. But trust me, when it becomes a society issue, it will involve you. When it becomes one of the sisters in this community's daughter has killed herself because her husband is flirting around, you will go and do tazia. So it has to do with you. So I believe that with this, we can have a serene society. Thank you.
Okay, so I have learned a lot, and I know you have too. But what we have to appreciate is that everybody's marriage is different. So you don't go out there looking at somebody's marriage. Create your own menu and run by it. How can you do this? Effective communication. Effective communication. Before this program was birthed, it was by the divine grace of the Almighty Allah. And so, first of all, we say Alhamdulillah to the Almighty Allah for making this day a success, especially in this month of Ramadan. May Allah bless all of us who made it the time to come here. Okay. Secondly, I want to appreciate our scholars here. Allah inspired them, and we say, Doc, Hadia, we are so grateful to you. May Allah continue to increase you in knowledge, so you come here to share with us the next time you are called. And then to the real MVPs, you decided to stay to the end, and we say that may Allah continue to reward you. May Allah grant us the barakah in this month of Ramadan. May Allah take us safely to our destination. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Thank you, everybody. I'm so grateful to Allah for bringing you here, honestly. I didn't know it was Hadia that I knew that was going to come. I was just wondering, when I looked at the name, I said, is this one going to be a Nigerian? Maybe I thought I had not seen her before. Oh, she's a wonderful woman. And a knowledgeable one, of course. And, everything has been done, and we are so grateful to Allah for everybody's effort. Alhamdulillah. Please, we have closed, but we need a closing prayer. We will call Madam Jaria to do us the honor, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Malik Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in Ihdina siratal mustaqim siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adhaban nar Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adhaban nar Rabbana atina
الله أكبر الله أكبر